This is After Hours with Amy Lawrence.
It is one of the college football stories of the year, maybe one of the sports stories of 2017. The University of Central Florida, the Knights, go 13-0, and everybody's talking about why aren't they part of the college football playoff? Many people don't realize they were winless 2 seasons ago. What an incredible journey from 2015 to where they are now. So excited to spend a few minutes with starting safety Tre Neal of the Knights. So you guys are coming off that Peach Bowl victory over Auburn, all the excitement. Then there's a championship parade at Disney. What have the last few days been like for you and your teammates?
It's been amazing. I mean, it started off with the great win we had over Auburn, and that's a good football team we just played. And ever since then, we've been calling ourselves national champs, and we kind of took off with it, being that Georgia and Alabama played in that national title, and Auburn beat them, and we beat Auburn. So we take that personally, just saying that we're the best team in the country, and we don't think we got a fair shot. So this past week, we've just been celebrating like national champions. We've had parades and celebrations downtown, and it's been amazing and fun just experience with these guys.
Okay, so let's talk about Disney. Your athletic director, Danny White, decides you guys need a championship parade. And so he puts this all together. I've seen some of the pictures, lots of people lining the main street. What were the emotions like for you as you're walking down that main street at Disney in this parade?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I was out there, we get there, and you didn't really hear too many people being there. I'm like, wow, I didn't think there was going to be a lot of people. But once we got in the parade, it was thousands, and I mean 10, 20,000 people just sitting there congratulating us. And it was a surreal experience. Playing in the stadium, it's different kind of atmosphere with a lot of people, but, just being able to see their faces up close and just them celebrating what we did this year was just an amazing feeling.
Along with going 13-0, winning the Peach Bowl on New Year's Day, getting this national championship parade courtesy of Disney, there's been a lot of extra attention. So NFL players tweeting about your success, extra media coverage. We've talked about it on my radio show a bunch. In your opinion, Tre, what does this do for UCF football moving forward?
I think, it's beneficial for the football program. I think not just football, I think just UCF as a university. I don't think as far as nationwide, we don't get the respect that, some of these other big-time programs get. And I think, we're a big-time program, and we've proven it. And not just football and other sports also. Our soccer teams did really well this year also. And just many sports, basketball, all of them, they're doing really well. And, I think that just the attention that football is gathering is not just beneficial for football, but just the university as well.
Your team has been through so much this season, culminating, of course, with the 13-0 record and the Peach Bowl. But along the way, your head coach, Scott Frost, has decided to return to his alma mater, Nebraska, and take a new job. So now Josh Heupel is your head football coach moving forward. But knowing that Coach Frost was leaving, how important was it for you all as a team to send him out the right way?
It was a hard loss, I think, especially for those younger guys. But I think the older guys and the seniors, they did a really good job of kind of gathering the team before we started our bowl practices and just try to tell them that we still have a mission to finish and a goal to accomplish. And I think once we had that talk, we kind of put our differences aside, whatever differences they had, and we just had a collective goal, and that was just to finish undefeated and have a perfect season.
Perfect it is at 13-0. Tre Neal's the starting safety for the Central Florida Knights, coming off that Peach Bowl win and the celebration at Disney, joining us here after hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. What's special about Coach Frost?
I think he's the definition of a player's coach, and I think that goes a long way with developing young men and helping young men, not just on the football field, but off of it. He preached to us a lot about love and responsibility. I think that it's missing sometimes with coaching. I think a lot of coaches are hard on their kids, and they think it's mostly about football. But Coach Frost, he cared about us off the field. He'd ask how our families were doing, and, he taught us how to love each other. And I think that's what, overall, that just helped us as a group. Just this season overall was just love.
Have you had a chance to interact with Coach Heupel?
Yeah, we actually, I talked to him a little bit during the bowl week. I just to introduce myself and, just see where his head is and how the craziness, and just to tell him, we're all aboard. We all support him 100%. We know that it's a different move and it's tough to come into a situation where a team goes 13-0. He has high expectations, but we told him that we're ready to work and just to keep it moving. We're excited to see what he has. The SEC, he had the best offense in the SEC, who was supposed to be the best conference. So that's a great thing coming for us. So we just told him that we're 100% behind him.
Okay, so after your parade at Disney, Tre, did you watch the national championship game?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. That was a crazy game. It was very crazy.
So after seeing the national championship, which is the culmination of the college football playoff, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Tre. A lot of people think that you guys should have had an opportunity to compete in the playoff because of your perfect record. Then you go and beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Auburn, of course, beat both of the teams that were playing on Monday night. So what's your reaction when you hear from the committee indicating that your schedule wasn't tough enough or that you didn't do enough to prove that you belonged in that championship?
During the season, it's one of those things where we try to focus on the next game, and we just tried to handle what we can handle. But looking back on it now, it's like we felt like we were kind of cheated or slighted a little bit. There's Alabama. They're a great football team, as you see in that game. But they didn't even win their conference championship, and that just goes to show that it's other stuff that takes into consideration. And we don't want to have it. There's biases and stuff as far as choosing who gets in that playoff. But we feel like we did everything we were supposed to do. We won all of our games, and a lot of those games we blew teams out. So they weren't a lot of close games, and they were convincing. And we have the stats behind all that stuff. Number one scoring offense in the country. An undefeated conference champion. I don't know what else we can really do to get in there, except just hope that they even the playing field.
Well, Central Florida has certainly given the College Football Playoff Committee something to think about moving forward. Tre Neal is starting safety for the Knights that went 13-0 this season. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. All right, Tre, this is a loaded question. But after everything you've gone through this year, including the attention, the Peach Bowl win in your hometown of Atlanta, the banner, the parade, all of this opportunity to talk about Central Florida, even though you weren't included in the college football playoff, would you change anything?
No, I wouldn't change anything for it. This is a perfect season. It's amazing. Just even the stuff that we've gone through last January up until this point now, I wouldn't change anything for it for the world. I got some new brothers, and I've gotten closer with these guys, that a bond that will never break. Now, of course, we want to be in the playoffs so we can actually prove that we're the best team in the country. But, we weren't allowed that opportunity, but we did have an opportunity to beat the team that beat those teams in the playoffs. So we took that personally, and once we won that game, I think that we wouldn't want to change anything. We love this season. We love what the coach has done for us, and we appreciate everything they've done.
When did you know, Tre? When did you know that this group of guys this season had the chance to be something extremely special?
I think it was the end of spring ball, and I think the defense was kind of beating up on the offense real bad, and we had been doing that for the past few years. We were waiting on them to just kind of one day just show up and just try to knock us back and beat us. And then I think at the end of spring practice, they came out one practice and they just physically they manhandled us up front, and the linebackers and DBs, and it was the first time that we had seen that. So I think that's when I first saw, like, okay, we have the potential to be a really special group offensively, defensively, and special teams. And then throughout the season, the love, I think, the stuff that we built over the summer and the camaraderie we had with our teammates, that overcame a lot of the things where tough times got sticky and stuff like that. And I think that's where I kind of figured it out.
And the part that I find most fascinating, something people may not remember, is that just 2 seasons ago, you guys didn't have any wins. In 2015, you were 0-12. In your opinion, Tre, because you were part of that team, what was the biggest factor in your total turnaround to where you are now?
Again, I think I kind of keep saying it's just a love thing. I think 0-12 season, I was there, and I don't think everybody kind of loved each other. I think everybody was just out there trying to, play for themselves, and if they didn't care if somebody else got beat, as long as they didn't get beat, or as long as they didn't mess up, they didn't care what the outcome of it was. I think that's really the difference. And I think even last year when we went 6-7, I think there was some love, but not everybody completely bought into it. And I think this year everybody loved on each other. Everybody wanted everybody to do great in what they were doing and do it to their best of ability. And I think that kind of environment pushes everybody just a little bit more. And you want to do it for your brother to your left and brother to your right.
Losing 12 games is hard, though. Going through an entire season in which you don't even have one win, that's really difficult. So personally, what did you take out of that experience that helped you get where you are today?
I think I think just going through all of that, it allowed me to learn I can persevere through tough times. Losing every week, that's not ideal, and it definitely tests you as a person, definitely as a football player. You can do a lot of things. You can quit on your team. You can just quit playing because you don't have the motive's not there anymore. But I think a lot of those guys that were out there with me, we just kind of persevered, and we knew that better days will be ahead, even though there's rough times ahead of us now. I think that since we just stuck together and grinded, and we knew that it would take 2 times the grind that we had earlier, that's what we have to do just to win a football game. I think that's the kind of stuff that it got out of us, that just being able to grind harder than most people are.
Well, it definitely worked. I mean, here you are 2 years later, total turnaround, culminating with a 13th win in the Peach Bowl. Tre Neal is the starting safety for the Central Florida Knights. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. What are some of the moments that you'll remember from that Peach Bowl, that last victory of this perfect season?
Just the environment, it was amazing, being back home and then just playing back in Atlanta, and it was a packed stadium. It's unexplainable how many people were in there. But, even Jaquan Burkett's interception, that was one of the moments where I just kind of absorbed what was going on. I think we kind of get lost in the game a little bit as we're playing just because we're so focused. But after he caught the interception, I saw him running. I think that was a surreal moment. And then even just the days leading up to the game, I was just enjoying it with some of the teammates. Those are brothers that, this team will never be the same again. And I think I wanted to take time to appreciate what we had accomplished all year and just live it up with them a little bit for the few days before then.
As the dust was settling on that win, it felt like the entire country, at least the sports community, was talking about Central Florida and the Knights' success. Who was the coolest person that you saw either post or tweet or comment about your win in the Peach Bowl?
Probably, I think J.J. Watt, I saw him tweet Shaquem talking about how great of an accomplishment it was. I saw Todd Gurley, while we were playing, I checked my phone after the game, and I see so many, NFL guys, professional guys. Larry the Cable Guy was tweeting about UCF, and I think that just goes to show, the story behind us. And we try to tell everybody, we're not done yet. This isn't, the book's not closing right now. We're still an open book, and there's a lot of chapters to fill in this story that's going on.
That's so cool. And also the first time that anyone has ever mentioned Larry the Cable Guy on my show. Congratulations on the amazing run, all the success and the attention. It is well-deserved. Central Florida Knights starting safety Tre Neal. You can find him on Twitter at Tre, TRENEAL _ That's at the end. Thanks so much for a couple of minutes. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you.